welcome back to Veggies by EOS. Today is an extremely important video and I please hope everyone watches this whole video. And I'm not just saying that because I want to grow my YouTube channel. I'm saying that because today's video is about safety and just 5 random tips that you might not know that can potentially save your life. And I'm just going to preface this with, I will be reading off my phone. This is from an article. I did not write this. These are actually tips from a cop. It actually says at the top, written by a cop. I'm just providing the information from this article. I know some people hate reading, so some people would rather just watch a YouTube video or listen to the YouTube video. I will, though, go ahead and copy and paste the article in the description. If you would rather read than watch the video, then just go read it. Totally fine by me. Still like this video, though, and subscribe. But seriously, please, especially if you're a woman, please, please, please watch this whole video, because these are actually really useful tips. And let's just go ahead and get started. So tip number 1 is a Tae Kwon Do tip. The elbow is the strongest point on your body, so if you are close enough to use it, do. So kind of a random tip you wouldn't think about, but I guess the elbow is the strongest part of your body. Kind of makes sense. So just keep that in mind if you ever need to fight off someone. That'd be scary, but use your elbow. Number 2 makes sense, and a lot of you are going to be like, wow, that's obvious, but in the situation, it might not be obvious. So what it is say a robber comes up to you and asks you for either your wallet or your purse. Don't just hand it to them. Throw it over that way and then run that way like crazy. So you want to, because if they're asking for money or your wallet or your purse, chances are they want the money. So if you throw it that way and you start running that way, chances are they're likely going to go for the wallet or purse, and that'll at least give you a couple second head start. Depending on where you are, hopefully that's enough time for you to get out of there. But it does make sense. So even just hearing that, even if you knew that, hopefully just hearing that kind of reiterated that in your head. If that ever happens to you, you know to just do that. Throw it away, opposite direction, and just go running. This next one, I personally don't really know how to do, so I should figure this out. But it says if you're ever thrown into a trunk of a car, kick out the back tail lights and stick your arm out of the hole and start waving like crazy. I just personally, if I were to go into my trunk, I'm not really sure how I would do that. And then all cars are different. So I should go figure that out, at least with my car. But the whole thing that it says the driver won't be able to see you, that makes total sense because of just how the mirrors work. They won't be able to see you waving, but obviously people driving by will see you waving. So hopefully you're never thrown into the trunk of a car, but if you are, try to, in any way, shape, or form, get your hand out and just start waving. The next one is something I actually never thought about until I read this article. I actually read this article a few years ago and it just popped up on my Facebook again the other day because I posted it on Facebook like 3 years ago, yesterday or whatever. And this one is once you get in your car, like especially if you're in a parking garage or something, just get in your car, lock the doors, and leave. So the article talks about how women have a tendency to like get in their cars, like put their stuff down, maybe check your phone, balance your checkbook, although people don't really do that anymore, so probably not that. But you know, just kind of like get your coffee situated or whatever. And especially if it's like nighttime in a very abandoned garage and no one's really in there, if you're just sitting in your car and like say all 4 doors are unlocked, someone could easily just come in, put a gun to your head, and who knows what happens. So I do that now. I get in my car, I lock my door. When I get to my car, I only unlock my door. I do not unlock all 4 doors because someone could even get in real quick if you unlock all 4 doors. So yeah, I never unlock all 4 doors unless I'm with another person, and I just get in and I go. Even if like I have to send a text or something, like it'll have to wait. Or even if you do just lock the doors, that's better than nothing. That's so scary. If you are in this big abandoned garage and you unlock all 4 doors and you're just sitting there texting, someone could easily come into your car. So this one is something I definitely have been doing a lot since I read this article. Going off of that one, say someone did come in your car and had a gun to your head and wants you to drive off or drive wherever. The best thing to do is drive into something, crashing the car. Hopefully if you're wearing a seatbelt and they are not wearing a seatbelt, the airbag will save you and hopefully not them. Although if they're in the front seat, I feel like it still will, depending on how they're positioned. But especially if they're in the back seat and you're going fast enough, you should be able to be okay while they should hopefully get pretty hurt. The next tip actually goes along with this as well. It's just to be aware of where you're at as you're getting into your car. Again, going back to like the garage where there's not many people around. So like look around your car. It says to look inside of your car, like if someone's hiding in the back seat or something, which I feel like that's a little bit more unrealistic, but at the same time, that could happen. That could definitely happen. So make sure no one's inside of your car as you're getting in. Another thing I definitely never ever thought about before reading this is, well, two situations. One situation is, say your car is here and there's a car parked over here. You want to make sure that no one is sitting in this passenger side, especially if there's only one person. Because say your car's here, this car's here with someone sitting right there. You're trying to get into your passenger side right here. Say right as you're trying to get in, that person comes out and who knows what happens. Another thing, the opposite, say your car, or say this is your car and a car is over here, and say you unlock all four doors, so you're just used to unlocking all four doors, the person in this car, right as you unlock your doors, could come out and go into your car. So kind of either way or. The article actually says if you even notice, like especially if it's like 10 o'clock at night and you're the only two cars in the garage and someone's in the car next to you, like don't like, go back, get a security guard or something, like if you're at a mall. I understand that you might not even be in the situation where you can get a security guard, so honestly, if I was in that situation, you might want to call 911 if there's like literally an empty garage and someone's right there, because that's really scary and sketchy. I don't know. Go back to where you were before that. Another thing it just says is you could, like say they're on this side, just go into your car on the passenger side instead of the driver's side, so that, I mean, the person's over here, and if you're coming in on the other side, they wouldn't be able to get to you or anything. So that's like a really random thing that I've never thought about, but it makes total sense. So keep that in mind, especially at night. But one thing to add from that, it does say most serial killers attack their victims by pulling them into their vans while women are attempting to get into their cars. Especially if you just went shopping, you probably have bags, you're not thinking, you're just like, oh, I want to put my stuff in my car and go home. You're not really looking around you. Maybe you're texting, whatever, maybe you're on the phone. So just keep that in mind. If there's a car near you, especially if it's on your driver's side, don't even try going in the driver's side, go in the passenger side, so that they can't get to you. I don't know how true this is, the whole serial killers take most of their victims by pulling them into their van while the woman's trying to get in the car. I mean, the cop wrote this, so I'm assuming it's at least a little bit true. I'm sure it happens a lot if it says that on here. This next one I'm not sure I entirely agree with. I feel like it depends on the situation, but it says always take the elevator instead of the stairs. It says stairwells are horrible places to be alone and the perfect crime spot, especially true at night. I mean, I think something can still happen in an elevator, especially if you're already in the elevator, then it stops on a floor and someone gets in. I feel like someone could easily come into the elevator without letting you out. So I feel like both stairs and elevators are both bad places to be by yourself. But if you have the option, the elevator is going to be your better bet. I mean, stairs, you could walk into the stairwell and not know someone's hiding there, whereas if you walk into an elevator, at least you know no one's there to begin with. The next one has to do with if the other person has a gun and you don't know what to do. So it says that you should run very fast in a zigzag pattern just because that's going to be very hard to hit you. And even if they do hit you, there's a very small chance they're going to hit a vital organ. So hopefully they'll like hit your arm or something so you can keep running and get away from them. It does say that the predator will only hit you, the running target, 4 out of 100 times. And again, even then it will likely not be a vital organ. So that's a pretty small percentage, the 4% of you getting hit. And then even if you do get hit, you're probably not gonna die. The next one, another thing you probably won't think of, and serial killers and I guess murderers in general are good at this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and read it. As women, we are always trying to be sympathetic. Stop being sympathetic because it can get you raped or killed. Ted Bundy, the serial killer, was a good-looking, well-educated man who always played on the sympathies of unsuspecting women. He often walked with a cane or a limp and asked for help into his vehicle or with his vehicle, and that is when he abducted his next victim. Especially if someone's asking you for help near a vehicle, that's a huge red flag, like don't go near that. I mean, it's different if someone's asking you for help like in a grocery store where there's like hundreds of people around you. That's a little bit different. But if someone's asking you for help, like, and it includes you getting anywhere near their vehicle, even if they're attractive, like apparently, I don't know what Ted Bundy looks like. Is he attractive? I don't know. I should probably look that up. But apparently he like reeled women in because he was attractive, and I've heard of that happening with other instances. I watch Criminal Minds. Stuff like that has happened on Criminal Minds even. One of them was someone like either had a limp or a wheelchair. I think it was a wheelchair. And they needed help like getting on the little wheelchair thing, and then that's when they just took the woman and went. This is like really random, but someone came up to someone's door, like ring the doorbell, so they open the door, see who it is, and the person just holding a dead cat and is like, was this your cat? I just hit it. And it wasn't their cat, obviously, but they were like, oh, maybe it's the neighbors, like we don't own a cat, but I don't know, it could be the neighbors. And I'm pretty sure the person like with the cat like looked like a totally normal guy, maybe he was attractive, and then he's like, oh, can I come in for a minute? And you know, they don't think anything of it, like, oh yeah, like you can come in for a minute with the dead cat real quick. And I forget exactly what happened, but soon after they get into the house, the whole family got murdered. The takeaway from that point, if someone is asking you for help, just be careful of where you are, especially if you're alone. Just keep it in mind. Even if this person is in a wheelchair, they could be faking it, because that literally happened on a Criminal Minds episode. So just be very careful when you're alone. This next one, apparently this actually happens somewhere frequently. I don't know where this happened, but a woman called the police saying that she heard a baby crying on her porch, and the second the police heard that, they're like, don't go out there, like, do not go out there, no matter what. And the lady was like super concerned. She's like, I think someone dropped off a baby. I need to go out there and rescue it. And they're like, no, ma'am, do not go outside. We already have a unit on the way. Someone had like a little like a tape recorder or whatever, playing of a baby crying and put it by people's front doors, so it would get women out of the house, like looking around, where's this baby at? I don't want it to run to, or not run, babies can't run. I don't want the baby to crawl into the street and get killed. And so that is when they will get the woman. And like they do it when they know women are home alone, so they'll go ahead, play it, the woman comes out, no one else is home, and yeah. The next one is kind of similar. It's another thing to get someone out of their house. So it says, well, it's a water scam. So if you wake up in the middle of the night to hear all your taps outside running or what you think is a burst pipe, do not go outside to investigate. These people turn on all of your outside taps full blast so that you will go out to investigate to be, you know, what's going on with my water. And then that's when they attack you. So that's a really good point, you know, not something that you might think of, although if it's like 3 a.m., like, you might think of it. But yeah, that apparently that is how some people have gotten killed, by going outside to shut off their hose or whatever the person turned on, and then getting attacked while they're out there turning their hose off. So that's really sad. I just read more of the article. It says the crying baby theory was mentioned on America's Most Wanted when they profiled the serial killer in Louisiana. So I guess that happened in Louisiana. Apparently he got many people that way. He was a serial killer. That was the last tip. Thank you so much for watching. Like seriously, I hope you learned something and I hope you apply something to your life. Please share this with a woman you know. Even if you are not a woman watching this, thank you for watching, but share this with your mom, your sister, a girlfriend, just anyone that's a woman. Or just tell them to read the article below, or just copy and paste the article and send it to them. Either way, or watch the video, read the article, I don't care. I just want people to be aware of these things, just in case they're in a situation where this can save their life, maybe. So thank you for watching. Again, I'm Veggies by EOS, and I usually don't make videos about this kind of stuff, but I thought this was super important. But go ahead and like this video and subscribe if you would like to. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next week. Bye.